Okay. Okay, we're starting to share. We're going to start recording. Okay, don't go anywhere. So our speaker today is Mai Thompson. You can't take both sets of china, darn it. Save time, money, and stress by learning tips on downsizing, sorting, and preparing for a move to a smaller home. And the other thing, I need to mute everybody. Where do I do? Here?
All right, see.
Mute all.
Can
There we go.
everyone mute their system?
I'm just muting now. Okay, now I'm good. Okay, the other thing I want to mention is that if you have any questions, there's a chat box. If you touch the screen, you'll see chat. You can bring up the chat box and put your questions in there for her as well. Okay, so Mai Thompson, she launched Smooth Transitions Phoenix East Valley in order to fill a gap for seniors who decided to downsize and need assistance. And she has an engineering degree and system experience, and she put this to good use, helping seniors and their adult children navigate the challenges of a move or estate dispersal. It's not about the stuff, but understanding how hard it can be to manage a lifetime of memories and belongings. Attention to detail with compassion makes Mai the person to work with to do the things you can't or don't want to do. All right, so what I'm going to do is share my screen with her presentation. How do I get there?
Click stop.
Stop share. Okay. And then go back to the here. No, not here.
Yeah. And then click that.
And then copy. Okay.
And
then what?
go back to the Zoom.
Go back to Zoom and do share.
Yeah.
And share screen. And then I have here. No, here. Okay, and then share.
And then you
okay.
Click present.
Present. Thank goodness I have technical support. All right, Mai, would you like to take it away?
You might have to unmute her.
Oh, wait, sorry.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay,
She
perfect.
unmuted.
Yeah, I did it myself. I just want to apologize to everyone. I was on here about 20 minutes before just waiting, and I just didn't know there was a problem because I just kept waiting and waiting. So I do apologize for that. Thank you so much, Sylvia, for reaching out to me and everyone at Afghan to be here today. I really appreciate your time. Just wanted to give you just a little bit of a background about me. Again, Mai Thompson, and I've started Smooth Transitions over 5 years ago. My background is in engineering, so I really enjoy working with people and then also with systems. So I feel like it's a really good, place where I am because I'm able to use what I've learned and just really help others. So Smooth Transitions, our company specializes in helping primarily seniors, but we also work with any adults. But typically our clients are moving from their home into an independent or assisted living, and we help them with the sorting process, deciding what to take, creating a floor plan, packing, moving, and unpacking. And because of this, you know, I do get lots of questions asking for tips. So that's how, and that's why I created this presentation. So this presentation, what I've done is just taken my keynote that I've typically give to other people, but then I'm just going to broaden it to just include everyone. So I'm trying to not just go by the presentation, but just also add extra items in it. So if you have any questions, I don't see the chat box, but I'm sure someone would tell me. So it's not a problem, but if you have any questions, save it to the end or put it in the chat box, and then I'll definitely get back to you. That's no problem. Generally, you know, if this was, if we're in present, then we would just kind of have more of a dialogue because I think that's a little bit more helpful. But so anyways, our goal today is really, I just have 3 tips to talk about how to declutter your home, how to organize it, and then plan, if you're not moving, then just plan to help declutter your home. And so whether, you know, you want to move or clear out a room or a a drawer or cabinet. It's the same principle, it's the same idea. Okay, so our goal today is to go over the 3 tips, and just from there kind of do a question and answer if we have time. So the first tip I have, and you can move to the next screen, is when we are moving, then if you are moving to an independent living or assisted living community, is to create a floor plan. Even if you're moving into a smaller house or a smaller condo, it doesn't matter. It's to create a floor plan. And what that is basically when you get a layout of a new community or new floor or a new room, a new house, then you'll get the general dimensions of the home. And with that, you want to be able to plan how you're going to use that space. You want to think about furniture. You want to think about you know, is this going to be my reading area? Is this going to be where I'm going to do my hobbies? Different things like that. So you want to plan that out. So specifically for a move, what we do is take measurements of the new home, and then we take measurements of the furniture that my clients want to take, and we'll measure all that out and find a home for it. A lot of people want to just defer to later and just say, don't worry about it, on move day we'll figure it out. But you don't want to do that because it causes a lot of stress. You know, a lot of times people stay awake and they're just really worried about, you know, what is going to fit, what's not going to fit. The advantage of going ahead and deciding ahead of time is, number one is the stress, knowing that it will fit and you have a home for it. The other benefit to finalizing your floor plan is also storage. So if you know you're going to put a bookcase in this area or a desk over here or a china hutch over here, then you also know what contents you can take along with it. And the other thing is, when you decide ahead of time what you are going to take, then that helps you decide what you're not going to take. So with all the extra furniture or smalls, what you want to do is, because you have this extra time, is to think about if you want to give the extra items to family, friends, if you want to donate it to a great cause, then you can do that. But if you don't, what would happen is on move day, if there's not enough space, safe space is what is most important to me, is you would have to give it back to the movers and have to take it back to your house, or they would take it to the next donation facility, and that would cost, of course, time for them, which is more money for you. So really think about where you are going to go to and what kind of space you have and what kind of furniture you want to bring, which will help you, in essence, decide what smalls to bring. So if you're not moving, the same concept still applies. Basically, what you want to do is, you know, just pick a room, pick a space. It could be a drawer, a cabinet, a desk. Maybe you can start with your pantry, just whatever areas that really stress you out. Just start with that. Empty that out. Not, don't empty out all the drawers, all the cabinets, you know, in your kitchen. Just one drawer, one cabinet. And then looking at that space, think about what you're actually using it for and what would fit in it. So then once you take everything out, you want to sort and then put back in the stuff that you need or the stuff that you love. I would recommend, again, not doing too much at one time because it's daunting. If you take out everything in the kitchen, it's going to look like a mess, and a lot of times it frustrates people. So just small steps, but continuous is the main thing. So, and I guess well, anyways, in your mind, since it's not a dialogue, think about an area in your home that stresses you out. Just think about 1 or 2 areas. When I really think about it, it stresses me out. It could be that junk drawer, or maybe the guest room that people just throw stuff in and just piles up after a while. Whatever it is for you, just think about that, and think about how you can start with the decluttering process. So with this, that's on the presentation right now, This is a picture, just a sample of a floor plan we worked on. And you know, this particular lady loved to read, so we had a couple reading areas. And you know, the most important part about this part of the presentation is the very bottom, that slide where it shows what she's not taking. Because she's not able to take those items, she can really think about ahead of time if she wants to donate it or sell it, or whatever she wants to do with it, because she's taken the time to pre-plan. So that's the most important thing, is just having that peace of mind to save you the time, money, and stress when you are moving or when you're decluttering your home. Again, if you have any questions, just write it out and then we can get back to that. The second tip I have is to consider who you are. You can move the next slide, thank you. Is to consider who you are today and where you're going. So again, if you were to move, then you think about the new space, the new area that you're going to. What happens is, generally all of us, through the years as we live in our house, we go through different phases of life, and we all tend to collect things. So what I'm suggesting is to just go through your house with like a fresh pair of eyes and really think about what you're actually using, what you need and what you love. So when we're talking about different phases of life, maybe you've had a baby or grandkids and you just start collecting things. You start collecting photo albums and pictures, and maybe you still have some books from college that your kids still keep at your house, or wedding stuff, and just all that just accumulates. And you know, even I'm guilty of it. It's normal, but you do want to start sorting through that. So even with, you know, our health, if through the years maybe maybe we ended up using certain types of things for our health, a booty or different things like that we don't need anymore. You know, I'm thinking about this lady that, I don't want to check. So I'm thinking about this lady that we went through and we sorted through her closet. And then, because she was moving out of state, and she had a smaller closet where she was going to, which is fine. So as we're sorting through her closet, I realized she had lost 40 pounds just through the years as she's gotten really serious about her health and taking care of herself. And as we're going through her clothes, it was very easy to see that half of her clothes was just way too big for her. Like, we didn't have to think about it. You know, you just take it out of the rod and you can see it was just too big for her. So we're simply just looking at, we're able to kind of purge through her clothes, even her shoes. She had lots of open-toed shoes with heels, and because now she's using a walker, she's not able to wear those types of shoes anymore. It's just not healthy, but I mean, it's not safe, it's also not comfortable. So again, we're just purging through just belts and purses and things like that, and just able to really pare down her closets to just what she really loved to wear and what she does wear. So think about that, and then as you're going through and sorting through your home, and think about hobbies. All of us, you know, we go through different hobbies, something that we've enjoyed before. And I think most hobbies, you do tend to collect things, like, you know, maybe you're into quilting or sewing, and we all just collect fabrics and just all these different things, which we do enjoy, we love. But if you're not using that or doing that hobby anymore, then consider just donating it to a great cause, or giving it to someone in your family that would really appreciate it. And the reason is because if, you know, if you've seen it and you think, oh, I'm gonna get back and start doing that hobby, but if it's been, you know, 10, 15 years, and just really think through, like, is this something I could, you know, let go of so that I can make more space in my home for things I do enjoy. So yeah, so just go through, sort through your home, think about the different hobbies you have. Some of these, if you are moving to a community, some of these communities offer 2 to 3 meals a day. I'm talking about senior communities. So you don't need to host, you know, Thanksgiving and Christmas. You don't need to have these big dinner parties. So a lot of the serving pieces and things like that you could also purge as well. And then, so just to be clear, I'm not saying, you know, to be a minimalist and have nothing. I'm saying just to be very purposeful when you are sorting, because it's not easy. It's not easy because a lot of these, I would say some of these items have a lot of emotional value to it. So, you know, for some people, it's really difficult for them to have to go through and pick out, you know, what they are able to give to their family or what they're able to donate. So it's not an easy process, and that's why I'm suggesting not sorting everything all at once. Just take it bit by bit. So, you know, I was helping a family. You know, she was going through her kitchen, and she didn't want to bring much because her new community was going to provide most of the meals. But she her husband loves apple pie, so she just said, "I don't need to bring everything, but I want to be able to make an apple pie for my husband." So we just went through her kitchen, got everything that she needed to make her apple pies, and then. And so we brought that. Of course, we brought, you know, like 4 to 6 cups and plates and dishes and stuff like that so she can have. But it's not, I'm not saying don't bring anything. I'm just saying be very purposeful about what you bring. Okay, so the first tip was to create a floor plan or think about the new space, the new area that you're looking to sort, and then go ahead and start planning ahead how you want to use that space. And then the second tip was to start sorting, thinking about how you're using your items in your space, and then just start purging your items from there. And then the third tip I have is based upon a book called Eat That Frog with Brian Tracy. And the premise of the book is to start with the worst first. So this book is that idea is really useful for any area of your life, but specifically to this presentation. I do recommend, because you know right now you do have the most energy, you have lots of ideas of what areas you want to work on, is to start with that area first. And then from there, it'll just get easier, right? Because you're starting with the worst first. So for example, with laundry, you know, you have your colors, your whites and towels and stuff like that. But for me, I like to start with my colors first, because that, to me, I just feel like it has so much that I have to do with it. But then as I'm going through each of my piles of clothes, it gets easier and easier and easier, because, you know, at the end, I just have towels. So just think about that, getting started first. So when you're sorting, here's a couple of ideas. If you want to donate, sell, or give, you may use different colored painter's tape, not duct tape, but painter's tape, because it doesn't tear, it doesn't damage your furniture. But use different color ones if you want to donate, you know, label one of them to be donation, one could be selling, one could just to be to give to family or to ship to family, however. But if you want to label, you can go ahead and start labeling using painter's tape. And then, because this is such a great organization, it sounds like you guys are all great friends. The other idea is to just have, you know, meet up with someone in here so you can have an accountability. I know a lot of people struggle with different areas in their home, and a lot of people are kind of embarrassed and they don't really want to share. Sometimes when I go to people's houses, they'll actually just clean up right before I come, and I'm like, no, I want to really see it, what it looks like, because then that helps me to determine what we need to do. But if you stuff everything in your drawers, then then it's hard for me to see what it actually looks like. So just to be friends, you know, just to be really honest with someone and just keep each other accountable, you know, and just, you know, you can have that honesty with each other, like, you know, this is my worst area of my home, this is my goal, and just to share with each other. You know, I feel like if you could do something like that with a friend, that could really help you go a long ways to purging your items and starting to declutter your home bit by bit. So those are the main areas that I wanted to share about the 3 tips. And then the other one that I had is just this is smooth transitions. You can go to the next slide. Yes, this one. So this is me, my team, and we're working on sorting with a gentleman. We're just decluttering his home, and we found this thing that he's holding in his hand. And I guess since I can't hear anyone, usually I ask people what they think it is. But anyway, so we saw it and we were like, "Is that what we think it is?" And we were just, just all talking about that. And we asked him, and he's like, "Oh yeah." So I'll just tell you what it is. You can go to the next, push the next thing. He's holding a Grammy Award. So he's got several of them, just very, very talented musicians. So we all took a selfie with it just to be fun. But that's the main thing also, is just to keep the process fun, because it is very stressful. But if you could just, not make it so daunting by just, making us, picking a smaller project each time, but then also just having fun with it, just knowing it doesn't have to be perfect. Every area doesn't have to be perfect. You just want to move forward. You just want to, take this area, this closet, and just make it a little bit better, just a little bit better. Not to stress yourself out, because again, no one's perfect. No one is perfect. But it's just something that we do need to do just so we can, it just helps us to feel a little bit more joyful in our home. I feel like if we don't have so much clutter in it. But I think that's my main thing I wanted to share about. In general, for us, when we work with our clients, moving is very stressful regardless of your age, because there's just so much to do, so much planning. But then for our clients, as they get older, the stress of a move increases, and that's because one is their own health. Maybe they don't have the stamina or the ability to just focus as long as they're used to, and so that could be frustrating. There's also the stress of the emotional stress, because they're having to make decisions related to their items and what they could give, what they could give and what they could keep, and that's really, really difficult as well. And then also the third reason why moving is also stressful is because of family. As we get older, we have more and more family members, and everyone has different opinions about what we should be doing, and so sometimes that causes friction, and then even more so, that just adds to the stress. So as you're, either moving yourself or helping someone move, just kind of think about those things in mind, and just trying to, if you could work together, because ultimately everyone has the same goal, is to make a move, very seamless as possible, or making a transition as smooth as possible. So just try to, as you can, help each other out, basically. For us, I'll just tell you real quick, for you can move to the next slide, just our services. For everything for the pre-move, we do everything from creating the floor plan to sorting to packing. And then on move day, we coordinate the move and we do the unpack. And we also do just decluttering and organizing for our clients who they're not ready to move, but they're thinking about maybe moving, or maybe they're staying, but they just need some assistance kind of purging through their items. Then we can help with that as well. We do offer a free consultation, so that kind of gives me an idea of what you have, and then to understand what you and your goals are. That is all I have for today, and then I could just open up to questions and answers.
I submitted a question on chat.
Okay. What places have you found to consign vintage dish and flatware? Okay. Do you recommend going to an estate person? Okay. So if it's actually vintage, then I do know someone that he owns an antique store, and he could give you a price. He'll take a look at it and then give you a price and tell you what he would give you for that. So that would be for for vintage, because I mean, in general, I think china and crystals do not sell well at all currently.
How about flatware or like silver plate?
Uh-oh. She's gone. She's gonna have to call back in. I don't see her.
Ooh, my questions have been pretty exciting there.
Somehow I don't see her
Does
happen.
anybody have this in terms of, if you have, I have like 10 plus photo albums. Who the heck's who wants them? What are you going to do with that?
Let's see.
Ideas?
You can digitize all those and put them on a thumb drive and get rid of the photos.
Or you
I've
can, or you can make books out of them instead of the photo albums that take less room. You pick out your
There
best
she is.
pictures
There
out
she
of
is.
that.
There.
Chloe, that's what
Okay.
I'm doing.
I've just done that with my dad. We went through 17 albums of pictures and we tossed the majority of them. He actually wanted to do the project and then we sorted some of them that will go to some relatives for them. And then I'll keep the rest, but it's very scaled down from 17. We're now doing DVDs, all the movies he took when we were growing up. So we're going through that right now. So you look at them and just decide if it's a memory you want to keep or not.
There she is. Okay, Mai, you should be back now.
Yeah,
There
I'm
she
sorry.
is.
I don't know what happened. I just got kicked out. Sorry.
Well,
Are you able to share with us that antique person? And
Sure. Sure, it's no problem. You know, I'm using my phone right now, so I can't get to it. May I just send it to Sylvia?
yeah,
sure.
Okay.
yeah.
And I don't know if you,
Yeah. Okay, we could put it in the chat box, but if you send it to me,
yeah.
I could send it out to everybody.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I put a question in chat, but I'm not sure if you saw it. Can clients select from your menu of services, or do you have to pick the entire spectrum?
Yeah, that's a good question. So definitely we're open just to doing anything that you need. So it's whatever assistance you need, that's what we would help you with. It's no problem.
Oh, okay.
You have a website?
Yes, we do. It's www.smoothtransitionsaz.com.
I'll put it in the chat box. Smoothtransitionsaz.com. There we go.
Yes, thank you.
There we go. Is everybody able to get the chat box up so they can see the?
Mhm.
Okay, great. Okay, what other questions were in here?
Was Maya wasn't on when Glow asked her questions about photos
Oh.
and albums. Maybe
Okay.
she has some words of wisdom.
So for photos and albums, I'm not sure what was already discussed, but you know, similar right now, there's a lot of digital solutions for you. That's what I would recommend. I don't know if you have any grandkids or kids to help out, but you know, if you're able to scan in a lot of those photos, even Costco would do that for you. But to scan in as much as you can. I personally use digital albums now. I mean, I get them printed out, but then I'm not so worried about if someone spills coffee on it because I could just reprint it. But for yeah, so for your current ones, and it is unfortunate because I see so many albums, and I give it to family, and they don't want it because sometimes they don't even know, like, there's
Who they
a
are.
beautiful picture. Yes, they don't know who they are.
No.
And then they'll pass it around to their family, and nobody wants it because yeah. So if you can also, when you are documenting and going through, just make sure you write the year and who they are if you can, just to kind of preserve as much as you can. But just know that not everyone has the same value in those photos as you would hope. And it's not because they're mean, it's just because they don't appreciate where it came from. So. And then I thought I saw there was a question about an estate sale. Does somebody want to elaborate on that?
It was from Kaya.
I was just wondering if you recommend that.
An estate sale?
Right.
Yeah, so sure. So for us, when we do moves and we are able to not take too much, if we leave about 3/4 of a house, then it would be a good option for an estate sale because they want about $5,000 at least worth of a sale. And then I would also say, just because of COVID right now, it's because a lot of people were not able to do sales. They weren't able to do estate sales or auctions and stuff like that. A lot of people had been just, the companies have been just keeping them. So now they have just stocked full of items. So everyone is just kind of unloading right now. So the total value has just kind of gone down on the items for now. But yeah, so I definitely recommend an estate sale if that's an option for you, because I feel like, they would be helping you just to clear out the remainder of your house if you can do it like that.
I had contacted an estate sale person for my mother's, but she said I wouldn't even get what I think she was going to charge $2,500 for it. So I guess that sounds like a deal compared to $5,000, but she didn't think she could get $2,500 because most of my mom's stuff she'd had for years, and she had a few nice things, some silver and but just not that much that would have even given, she wouldn't have even made what she needed to
Correct. Yes. Yeah. So it's not a solution for everyone, but for us, when we talk about estate clear outs, we're talking about clearing out everything. So if an estate sale is not an option, there's other options. For sure, there's other options beyond that. So I want to look at, for me, I'm looking at what the goal is of the client. Sometimes it has to do with the timing. If they've sold their home, then we don't have a lot of time. Sometimes people don't want to make as much. They just want a very simple process and they just want to leave and want me to take care of it. So I will basically do what I can based upon the goals, the schedule, and then what they have remaining. Because I mean, if it's not, depending upon what's behind, we can come up with different options for sure.
Great. Anybody else with some more questions? And if you'd rather ask, you can just touch your picture and hit unmute to ask if you would like to.
I just want some magic thing to make it all go away.
Now that would be Mai Thompson.
That's right.
It's kind of like those extreme makeovers where they leave and go to Disney World, and then they come home and they're beautiful. And of course, remember the hoarding shows too? They used to take them out and then they reorganized everything.
Mike, can you give us an idea of what your services cost, ballparks?
So again, it really depends on what my clients are looking for. If you're looking for just decluttering, or you're looking for assistance with sorting, packing, moving, unpacking. So when I offer the free consultation, I want to work with you to figure out what it is that you need. Some people, for example, they are able to declutter, but they just need assistance. So we can start with them and give them homework. A lot of our clients like that. So we'll start with them, give them homework, and then we'll come back and see how things are going, and then we'll continue that process. So it really just depends on what your needs are. Yeah, so feel free to contact me and I can talk to you a little bit more, but I do offer the free consultation. It's so I would just basically come to your home and figure out what you're looking for.
I have a neighbor who's moving from Phoenix down to Awatuki to Generations.
Yes.
And so I want to refer her.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Great. Anyone else? These are all great questions. You know, this is all in our future. And I have 2 sets of china. And I'm sorry, I'm not giving them up. I have my own, and then I have my grandmother's that she bought in 1916.
Oh, wow.
Haviland china with gold rim. I have to admit, though, when I moved to Arizona, some of them got broken in the, you know, in transit. So that's kind of sad, but I just can't part with them yet.
Right. I understand.
Well, I think one of the big issues now is that, I mean, I think who I would leave things to, my niece, my nephews, they don't want this stuff anymore.
Correct.
They don't want antiques that have been in the family for years that are wonderful. They don't want the china, they don't want the silver. And so we have to come up with, okay, what's the alternative if nobody in the family is interested in this stuff?
Have you gone to replacements.com?
Oh yeah, I've been there, yeah, for china and stuff.
You can also try to sell stuff there too.
Right.
Online.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. You can send them pictures and they can give you a price. I did it a number of years ago and need to do that again on this flatware. I found the flatware because it's from 1950 and I got the model or the, you know, whatever. But yeah, but you may want to try replacements.com too to see if you can sell things that way.
Good idea.
And then if you've got records, I just hauled about 120 albums over to Zia and I got some money for that. And then the balance I just gave to Goodwill. If you're looking for a place for that kind of stuff.
Well,
Sylvia, Sylvia, don't feel so bad. I have 3 sets of china.
Me too.
I have 12 place settings in each.
Oh my God.
oh my gosh.
So
And I
give
get
it
to
to your
use them all.
daughters. Give it to your daughters. That's what
Yeah.
My daughter has a 1-bedroom little house. There's no way.
Oh,
Yeah, I get that.
Do you recommend people have garage sales in this process?
So generally I don't, because I feel like with garage sales, I feel like we put a lot of time and money, not money, but time into it, tagging, sorting. And then I don't feel like there's a great return on it personally. I mean, you try to sell something for $2 and they'll ask you for a quarter. So, and then you still have to do
It's
it
also
really,
heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
yes, and then you have to deal with cleaning it up at the end, because it's just a lot. So no, not unless you just thought it was a fun, unless you just enjoyed it and had fun with it, but not specifically if you're looking to sell it and try to make the most out of your time and money, time and items.
Yeah.
That's why the Lost Our Home Pet Rescue parking lot sale is perfect for everybody. You don't have a garage sale we're holding it.
Do you have to, does Lost Our Home have to be open for us to drop stuff off there?
No, you can, there's a donation area right next to the entrance because people can only come in by appointment still
Okay.
right now, but you can leave items outside next to the
Good.
entrance.
Good, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Flatware, China.
Oh my.
Oh my.
You may have it afterwards, though.
I was thinking the problem with that garage sales, we have to make sure we don't go buy anything. That's
Yeah.
the problem. We are
Yes.
donating, giving it away, and now, yeah. Of course, that would raise money for them, but that would defeat the purpose. Does anybody else have any other all these are great questions. Anybody
No,
else?
but it's been a good presentation. Thank you for setting it
Yes,
up.
thank you, Maya.
Yeah, thank you.
Barbara,
you.
did you-
The Lost Art, the garage sale you just mentioned for
Yeah,
Lost Art
our
Home.
home? Mhm.
So what happens at the end of that with all the stuff that doesn't get sold?
Well, what happened to the last one we did when we shut the shelter for renovation, we had a lot of animal, dog, cat stuff, so we invited other rescues in to take what we had. And then other things we ended up taking to Goodwill because they pay for a certain amount of stuff. So, yeah, it gets donated as well if it doesn't sell. Or some things if they're really great, we'll hold on to them for our next raffle, or maybe even put them in our December silent auction, you know, if it's something new, really cool. So there are a number of different alternatives. It depends on what the item is.
Okay. All right. Does anybody else have anything else? Anything else? This has been great. We've just so appreciated.
Good seeing everybody.
Good to see everybody.
I really enjoyed, yes, it was been great seeing everybody because, you know, we can, but,
Hey, Sylvia, I got one question.
oh,
I wonder if Maya knows anything to do with Indian pottery and that kind of stuff. You know, who you could contact that might be interested in the Indian stuff. It's real Indian pottery and things, you know. I don't know where to take it.
So let me, so the name that I'm going to give Sylvia, that's probably the same contact for you. He owns an antique store.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
okay, and I will get that out. I'll send that out
Okay, thank you.
to everyone when I get it, so that'd be fine. Going on? Anyone else?
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very
Bye.
much, Mai. We really appreciate it.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Been very
Bye.
great.
Fran.
Thank you,
Miss you
Mai.
guys.
Yes, miss you all.
Bye, everybody.